Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Football Unplanned, and today we are gonna talk about championship.
The best championship players.
So they always say that championship is the best second tier of the entire world, and
I agree.
That is arguably the truth, and also it's definitely one of the hardest leagues to play in because it has 24 teams and only 2 get a direct promotion, and then you have player for the third remaining spot, so it's very difficult league to play in. But there has been a lot of talent throughout the years.
Exactly, and we all know the story of Jamie Vardy, who came from the lowest tiers to Leicester and became even a champion of England.
England, yeah.
He even played for the national in the Euros and the World Cup even, so that's a real dream come true.
Yeah, fulfilled career.
Exactly, but today we're gonna talk about the players that actually also did a very good job and actually also came from nowhere.
Yeah, exactly. They're just a bit more recent examples.
And our first player on the list is Jarrod Bowen, the 27-year-old right wing and forward of today West Ham, but he started in Hull City, and even before he was playing in Hereford.
Yeah, that's town definitely more known for the types of burger meat patties than about football.
Exactly.
And yeah, actually that team dissolved, so then he went to Hull. And he first started in their youth setup and then played a bit while they were still in the Premier League, but he was still young at that point. They got relegated, and for 2.5 seasons he tore the championship apart, with more than 50 goals in those 2.5 years.
Yeah. And now he has 44 goals in West Ham.
Actually didn't know the exact number, but yeah, he's been contributing well, and the best thing about him is he's so versatile. He can play on the right, he can play as an attacking midfielder, and last season for West Ham he even played at striker because Toney was injured for almost entire season.
Yeah, and for now his biggest success is silver medal in Euros 2024, this year.
Yeah, he managed to get into England's setup, in front of our player that we're going to talk about next, and that's James Maddison.
Exactly.
And yeah, James Maddison is one of the players who also started from a pretty low level at his boyhood club Coventry. At that time they were in League One, so third tier. But then he got a move up to Norwich, and it took him only one full season of playing championship football to get himself transferred to Leicester City. That costed almost £20 million, so that's a pretty hefty sum for a championship player.
Exactly, and to be honest, his history in Leicester City is the place where most of the fans will actually starting to recognize him. He played over 160 matches there, and that's where his true career started, because before that it was a very rocky road. He even played in Scottish Premier League, in Aberdeen. Who remembers that now? But yeah, he did, and
he earned his first England call-up during his Leicester days.
Exactly, for the Nations League, to play with Croatia, for example. And when most of us thought that his international career, in the national team of England, was just gaining momentum, he was cut off of the final squad for the Euros, and he was very disappointed of that. But he's still 27 years old, so
he has some time ahead of him, and I think it was such unfortunate timing for his injury last season, because he literally won the Player of the Month in the Premiership in September, and then he got injured, and then also Tottenham fell off the cliff without him.
Tottenham.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
And the next player we're going to talk about is Eberechi Eze, one of the people who went the opposite way in the career. So he started his youth career at Arsenal, then he got released as a kid literally, then he went on to Fulham, he went on to Millwall.
And also to Reading.
Yeah. And And after he got like released, he was just like left without a professional contract at like 18 years old. And he went on a trial with Queen's Park Rangers, who were a championship team at that point. Well, at this point also.
Yeah.
But he didn't start off very well. Like he had like a rocky start because
bouncing.
Yeah, like let's segue a little bit, because Championship is now kind of what Premier League was like in the 90s. The game is very physical there, and like Eze is a guy who's like 1.78 meters tall. He's not very strong. Like his skills are that he's like very technical and very fast and nimble on the ball and all of these things. So it took him kind of a while to mature there.
Yeah, because at the first glance you might say that he doesn't fit physically
into that mold of championship like style of play.
Yeah, it's a typical Engerand football.
Yeah, like Brexit football, exactly. But
post-Brexit.
But even now they're like changing it a bit, because now you see like more and more coaches from like Spain or other like countries taking over teams in the championship. So I guess it's getting more and more like international even at that level. But so that's, I guess, part of the reason why Eze struggled as a kid. But then he had like his breakout season, and he got bought by Crystal Palace for £17 million.
Exactly, and he's just another number 10 of our list. He's a mid-line player.
I see him more as a winger though, but he can play everywhere across like the front. And now he's valued at around £60 million. So if Crystal Palace decide to sell him, they're gonna turn a huge profit. But now let's talk about a player who they turned a big profit on, Michael Olise.
That's right.
And Crystal Palace is featuring again on our list because, only 1 year after they signed Eze, they picked up Olise from Reading.
I want to say, man, the first time was so nice, I had to do it twice.
Yeah, but before he got there, he was playing in one of the best clubs, but as a junior, he played for Arsenal, for Chelsea, and for Manchester City.
Yeah, and then he got cut from all of these teams.
And he ended up in Reading, as you said.
Yeah, but after Reading, I guess probably because Crystal Palace saw something in Eze. He had a decent start there, and they just bought a similar player just on the left side of the pitch now. And actually, him and Eze made a really nice and dynamic duo in the latter half of the last season, when finally they got a decent coach, as Glasner is, and they were very exciting to watch actually, because very fast-paced players with nice technical skills, and also not afraid to shoot outside the box.
Yeah, and he actually won a goal of the season 2 seasons ago in Crystal Palace, so that means something.
Exactly. And he cost Crystal Palace less than £10 million, and this year like they nothing. Sold him for, in modern football that's like pocket change. And they sold him for 60 million to Bayern Munich, and also potential add-ons on that transfer in case he does well. And he started already with 3 goals.
3 goals for now,
And that's a great start of the career.
I mean, if Bayern pays that amount of money for you, that means a lot actually. Exactly. You are playing for always one of the top clubs to win the Champions League even.
Yeah, they're always up there. And but also Olise didn't get a call up for Euros 2024.
Yeah, but he got called up for the Olympics when he won a silver medal.
Yeah, they lost to Spain, even though the refs tried to make hosts win that
something
match,
else.
But and after he got a first official France call up, and it's kind of weird because he had a chance to play for 4 countries actually, because he was born in England, and his father is, I think, Nigerian, and his mother is French and Algerian. So he had like potential for
4 countries that he could play with.
And he decided for France, and I think in England now they have a feeling that it's going to be another Musiala, like another player,
I guess,
born there who's going to star in other countries.
Yeah,
National
but if we are talking about national teams, I'm pretty sure that both of these countries can be like really easygoing with any position for years to come. So it's not like here like in Poland that we are losing some valuable player and we are like left with a big hole with no one to actually fill it up. There is like tens of players for same position, and even if you will go with this one rather than some other one, it will still provide value.
Yeah, I guess, but like it doesn't hurt to have more and more depth.
Exactly, yeah. But this isn't the end of our list, because next one is Ollie Watkins.
Yeah, and he started at also very low level, like League 2. And that's like 4th tier of English football.
Exactly.
But then he got picked up by a team that he'll be featuring on this list
many times
later. Exactly. And like Exeter sold him for less than £2 million, but they also had some add-ons there and some clauses. So after clauses, yeah. So after Brentford sold him to Aston Villa for £28 million, Exeter earned for almost £5 million from that transfer,
and that actually
saved the club. And now they're in the higher tier than they were when Watkins was playing for them, because now they're in League 1.
And that's why you need to train young people and look for them.
Exactly. But yeah, so one only stain on Ollie Watkins' career when he was in the Championship is that he wasn't able to pull Brentford in the Premier League, because they only managed to reach playoffs.
Yeah.
And they lost in extra time 2-1 against Fulham.
Mm-hmm.
Because out of all people, their left back Joe Bryan decided to score 2 goals.
Magical
and
goals.
They were bangers. Exactly.
Yeah. Once in a lifetime, but it happened 2 times in 1 match.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But, well, fortunately for Watkins, he got a move to Premier League, and fortunately for Brentford, they got promoted the following season successfully.
Yeah, and fortunate for English national team also, because he scored a goal in the semis with Netherlands, which gave England a lot to play, a right to play in the final, which they lost anyway. But that goal for 2-1 score was
that's like the
something
pinnacle of his career, because
he's a national hero still.
Exactly, like he didn't play Premier League until he was like 25, and imagine at 28 you have your first tournament and you go from the bench and then you manage to score a goal in the semi-final
in last seconds.
Yeah, literally last seconds. That's some like Oliver Bierhoff story.
Mm-hmm, exactly, like from the 90s.
Yeah, but unfortunately, well, they didn't manage to win the whole thing. But still, like Ollie Watkins. Toney is our follow-up, actually. He's been a solid contributor for Aston Villa all these years, and
still will be. Like there's still a lot to.
Yeah, I mean, there were some doubts when he started, like first 3 matches without a goal, but then he scored 2 against Everton, and then he scored another one just on the weekend. So yeah, like he's not going anywhere, and he's certainly gonna be in double-digit scoring once again.
Yeah. So, like we said, next player is Ivan Toney.
Yeah, I already spoiled who the next player will be, and well, after Ollie Watkins, who didn't manage to promote Brentford to Premier League, well, with 31 goals in the following season and 1 goal also in the playoff match against Swansea, Ivan Toney managed to do that.
Yeah. he's a legend for the club.
Exactly.
Yeah, but his career started in his hometown, Northampton, which is for now League One club, and
At that point, they were also like League Two club.
League Two, yeah, and a very old club because the club was established in 19th century. So that's a small fun fact. And after that, he went a bit higher, but he
went too high.
too high because he was like on a loan everywhere from south to the north, everywhere, and I think
only managed 2 matches for Newcastle, so that's like
that says a lot. Actually, like the numbers don't lie, but his best club that he was on a loan was Wigan, and he played almost 30 matches there. So yeah,
but salvation to him came after his like Newcastle contract finally expired, and then he moved to Peterborough.
And he was free, yeah.
And then like he moved to Peterborough, and then he kept tearing up the League One, and then he got picked up by Brentford, who like paid a very small amount for
Brentford
him.
has a very good scouts, I must say.
Yeah, exactly. Like they are still keeping an eye on everywhere, but like mostly Denmark, I guess. But yeah,
somehow.
Yeah, but exactly. And then he brought them Premier League, and then he brought them some problems last year.
Yeah, do you mean the betting problems?
Yeah, exactly.
He is the one. Yeah. So
yeah, I mean he missed majority of the season because of these like suspensions, and then also like there was a chaotic start of this season because nobody knew where he's gonna go. Is he gonna stay?
He's gonna go.
Exactly. And they like at the end of the transfer window sold him to Al Ahly and to Saudi Arabia.
I think that was the only place.
Yeah,
maybe eventually like China or like somewhere
China
far.
now, no, but yeah, I mean, one of like the bold predictions is that Toney is gonna return to Premier League like in a year or two because he is not done there still, and like he had his highlight of the career, same as Watkins, like this summer.
And since we are also mentioning the international careers of these players, Ivan Toney got very important assist in a thriller match with Slovakia after Jude Bellingham's equalizer. At the very beginning of extra time, Ivan Toney got an assist with Hurricanes' second goal for England in that match.
That was a lifesaver, and actually like in that match Ivan Toney was like 94th minute substitute. Like
exactly,
he came in just before that Bellingham goal.
Yeah, but actually after 1-1 goal of wonderful goal of Jude Bellingham, everyone actually knew that Slovakia is actually done because they were out of the stamina,
out of breath, out of
anything, out of vitamins, even like in 70 something minute actually, and that was around 100 minute with 20 more. So
it was not gonna be good.
It was just a matter of time. So good for England that they have scored very early in that extra time, because if Slovakian players will park a bus and England won't actually score because the ball and every chance will be like bouncing off, they will probably start be more dramatic with their chances. But that Ivan Toney assist actually ended this like discussion who's going to the next round back then.
After that Kane goal, nothing happened in that match.
Yeah, because Slovakia was out of touch and England was
playing it safe, and because Southgate ball.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think when it comes to Ivan Toney and his like international career, well, I think that it depends on will he return to Europe actually, because I really don't see the new manager of England calling him up from
Al Ahly.
Yeah.
Me too.
And actually, to wrap up our list of like successful championship player transitions to Premier League level, we're gonna have another member of Euro 2024 England team, Ezri Konsa.
That is right, and also Brentford.
Yeah, again, Brentford is
appears
completely
great scouts.
Yeah,
once
great
again.
scouts, and big up to them. And yeah, like he's another player that had a bit more of a traditional like bringing up. He started
Road.
in Charlton Athletic, like again another team that's in League One, and that was like a former Premier League team in their like glory days.
They had history there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so he went through their academy, and he played even for seniors. Then he got sold for like less than 3 million.
Around 3 million, yeah.
And then after, well, only one season, I think, in Brentford, he got sold for, well,
30.
4 or 5 times the price, exactly. And yeah, I mean, he's been solid for Aston Villa all these years, and I think like he's only now reaching his prime because like he's 26.
Yeah, and we actually see another pattern that we have today's lower tier club who just finds someone and got a lot of money.
Yeah, like they developed him, and like he also got
That's how it works. I mean, like train new players, young players. And a small fun fact about our last player, he is still and was actually first defensive player who scored twice in a Premier League match for Aston Villa after 2010. He scored twice with a winning match with Leicester City. So guys, that was our list of most successful players from Championship. And just like always, leave a like if you like it, leave a dislike if you disliked it. No, don't actually do it. Leave a comment, maybe you know a player that in your opinion achieved
should be there, yeah.
should be here, should be mentioned, or maybe from some other low tier leagues, like for example, I can add Grzegorz Piechna, who was
who the hell is
that's
that?
a Polish story. He was a hero, and before actually he was a professional player. He was working with the sausage, like in a meat factory, and he even got a debut in the national team, and he even scored a goal. So that's one of the top
From sausages to national football.
And even scoring a wonderful goal. And all of the older fans of Polish football actually will remember Grzegorz Piechna. So if you have your type of such player,
Your sausage player.
a sausage player or any kind of player that has a very interesting story and achieved something big, like playing for a national team or even winning a medal, why not leave us a comment of your type, and see you next time.
Take care, guys.